What's up? What's up? What's up? What is going on? Welcome to Walk It Off. I'm your host, Paul Jarrett. I want to apologize for the last minute change in our scheduled programming. Kerry, I'm not going to put his personal business out there, but right now, Kerry had gotten an opportunity today, something big, and I don't want to stand in his way. So, as of right now, the plan is tomorrow evening at our normal time, 6 o'clock. Kerry Vincent Jr. will be joining us here on Walk It Off. That's the plan as of now. Give us some leeway, give us some understanding. Big things going on for Kerry right now. So just give us a chance to make it up to you. As a token of my appreciation for everyone being patient and giving us the grace for this last minute change of plans, you may get a second special bonus episode tomorrow morning. You might. I'm not going to say who it is. I promise you, there are people in the chat who will love to see this person. People have asked for this person to come on shows recently, and there's a possibility that we have that tomorrow morning with this individual for a special second bonus episode. But tonight, and again, sorry for the late notice and everything. I was scrambling. My buddy Jim Cross in the chat here knows me and him were on the phone talking about it earlier. He knows all about where my head was at and how I was trying to scramble and make some stuff happen tonight. So sorry for the late notice on everything. Let's get back to the chat real quick. Say what's up to Bab and how you doing, my guy, Mr. Robbie Plaisance. I meant to message you today, Robbie. Do me a favor, Robbie. I believe you still have my number. Text me tonight because I have a favor to ask of you if you don't mind. But so as I was trying to think of topics to start off tonight's show, I was thinking, well, we could talk about Major League Baseball and all the LSU Tigers who are taking over Major League Baseball with Tommy Tanks White getting called up to the Athletics show team. He didn't have to go very far. He just turned around, walked to the other side of the locker room, and hung his bag up in a new locker. He didn't have to change stadiums, that's for sure. But I was sitting there thinking, how many guys do we have in the show? And we have a lot more than I previously thought. I know we go through the Jumbotron, the baseball games, and you see everybody in the show. They put the pictures up, everybody claps, and everybody roars for Paul Skeens and Breggs and Dylan Cruz. I get it. There's a lot more, I think, they put up on the screen, oddly enough. But then I thought, well, that'd be a good little second part of the show thing to talk about. Let's look at other things. Oh, I can still talk about Ole Miss on my mentions on X because it's. I told somebody this. I think me and David Billiard's buddy, Sergeant Lincoln Osiris. He's an Ole Miss fan, but he's good people. There are still good people who are Ole Miss fans. Like we have a tailgate scheduled next year for the Ole Miss series with an Ole Miss fan. There are still good people who root for the team. Aside from that, I told Lincoln, and I included LSU fans in this because it's true for both sides. Both fan bases love the taste of rage bait, man. You put a little tweet out there, it's insignificant tweet. You just say one or two things wrong, boom, they jump on it. But then I remembered, I'm sure we'll talk about that later as well. I remembered a story that came out recently that we didn't touch on. I wanted to touch on it, but I didn't get a chance to because I was sitting there talking about Ole Miss, and then we had other things to talk about the rest of the show. I forgot about doing it. So tonight I'm going to remedy that. We're going to have a discussion. But before we do me a favor. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on X, please hit the YouTube. If you're watching on X, please hit the repost and follow button. If you haven't subscribed or followed any of the TikTok, Instagram, X, or YouTube channels, please do me that favor. And please, if you can, hit a like on the stream for me. It does a huge favor for me, and I really appreciate if you do that. Now, if I can stop talking over my tongue, we can start the show. The other day, last week we had a discussion about Urban Meyer and his affinity for Lane Kiffin and Urban Meyer's ability to just hate on LSU and Louisiana at every turn. That didn't end this week when it came to Urban Meyer, except this week, somebody else decided to throw their hat in the ring. Jed Fish, head coach of the University of Washington Huskies, came on the podcast with him and Mark Ingram. I believe it's called the Triple Option Podcast, and has some choice words to say. And he doesn't say LSU directly, but if you watch the short, which we're about to pull up, there's a how do I put it? Shadow of a certain mascot that they emboss into the short. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to that.
Signed his contract to be a part of our program for another, year, and everything was great. And then we all came back for our first team meeting. And then when the team meeting ended, he called me and he said, "Coach, I think I need to go. I need to go in the portal." And I was like, "What are you talking about, man?" What happened was a program told him they'll pay him an extra $2 million if he goes in the portal. And the kid's 19 years old. We were paying him a lot, but you add another $2 million onto anything.
Wow.
He was like forced to put something out there. And then we spent about 24 to 36 hours going back and forth and talking about this is the right place for you. And, you have a contract and contracts mean something. And in the end, he came back 2 days later. We didn't change anything. We didn't give him any more money or anything like that. But what we did do is we talked to him about what a great opportunity it is to be a 3-year player in the same program. And we got a chance to do something super special.
Now, that was Jed Fish discussing Damon Williams' possible. Well, he did enter the transfer portal, and they are very sneakily trying to say LSU forced him to enter the transfer portal. They were going to offer him the extra $2 million to enter the transfer portal and come play for the Tigers. It's funny. There were other schools like Miami and so on and so forth that were also courting Damon Williams. They don't put their names up there because LSU is the brand. We get the clicks. We see it. I told y'all this before. The Louisiana State University athletics programs have more podcasts surrounding those teams than any other school in the nation. More than Ohio State, more than Michigan, more than USC, more than Florida. Any school you can think of, more than Notre Dame. They have more and more podcasts surrounding this university and these athletic programs than any other school in the country. That's why we are so talked about, because we'll come out and we'll discuss it. But it's a little thing Jed Fish forgot to mention during that little segment when he was saying that another school tried to court Damon Williams away, and they had discussions with him saying it'd be better to stay in Washington. It's such a good story. Do y'all remember when they broke the news? They broke some news about Damon Williams during a teammate's funeral. They decided to break news about Damon Williams, and I believe possibly making legal action. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. They broke it during a teammate's funeral. That's when they decided to really put the pressure on, because what gets a better buzz in the media than the emotions of someone's funeral? Now, rest in peace to whoever was passed in that moment. The sad thing is the news didn't really talk about who the teammate was that died. They talked about Damon Williams and him leaving University of Washington and the discrepancy surrounding the contract he signed for his NIL deal. And then you had the attorney from Miami working to get him out of that contract and get him somewhere else. And then contracts mean something. And you said it very clearly there. They didn't pay him more money. They were basically willing to probably bankrupt that kid to make sure he stayed at Washington. Everyone seems to want to take the moral high ground when it comes to LSU athletics in the LSU football program, baseball program, basketball program. Had enough people try to talk to me about the Arley, the Lake Children's Hospital scandal, the show cause for Will Wade, and he was breaking the rules, even though the rules he was breaking, 6 months later, a year later, were fully legal now, and that's the world we live in today. Everyone wants to point at the warts on LSU's face, but they never want to point at the warts on their own face. Same thing goes for Ole Miss right now and Keith Carter. And I hate to bring this up again, but we got to talk about it just a little bit. Don't you find it funny that Keith Carter makes this statement coming into SEC Media Days? Don't you find that funny? Because what was one question that was definitely going to be asked whenever LSU went to the podium, especially a guy like TJ Dottery or Prince or Whit Weeks or Treyas Green or even Lane Kiffin, what's one question they're going to have for them when they walk up to the podium during SEC Media Days? The culture around LSU versus the culture around Ole Miss. What's a great way to change that? Hey, LSU's not paying buyouts. We're going to have to sue the players. It's a great look. Here's a little extra information for you. You hear Ole Miss fans on X and all over social media saying they took our rev share budget. It's this, it's that. No, they didn't. They never paid them. Now I have read and I've found out that somebody like Prince Will had a 2-year contract, and I believe Devin Harper did as well. They had a 2-year contract to Ole Miss. They never paid them the second round of money. They've been paid for the services they rendered for that 1 year, and they had the legal right. If you don't want somebody to enter the transfer portal, put it in the contract. They are not allowed to enter the transfer portal. If you thought about that. But they had the legal right to enter the transfer portal, and they had not received any sums of monies for that second year. And again, I want to preface this. Most of those deals and raises on their money was after an emotional win against Georgia in the playoff, playing the emotional card. Like I've said before, and I'll say it again. If LSU and Lane Kiffin has not paid the buyout for these players, there is no legal standing to pay the buyout. LSU, Lane Kiffin, Verge Osbury, Wade Roos, none of them, Jeff Landry, none of them want the headache that would come from this. It's pretty simple. So if they haven't paid it, why do you think that is? Because they don't have to. There's no legal standing. There is none. And no, they did not lose any of their rev share budget. In the House case, it says any monies that is promised towards a player from a rev share standpoint, if that player leaves, it is now not caught up. You can still use that. You want to know how I know they use that? Clemson linebacker, enrolled in class, sitting in classroom lectures, gets a text message, I'll double it. Where'd the money come from? I bet it sat around, $1 million. How much did I say that contract was worth the other night? Those two contracts together, about $997,000. Seems interesting to me that money just magically appeared and they were able to use it. Everyone wants to stand on their moral high ground when it comes to talking about LSU, but no one wants to point their own warts on their face. Is LSU perfect? No. No. Far from it. I'll be honest, before Will Wade got rehired and Alabama, I forget the kid's name now. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't get it out of my mouth. Whenever they were bringing that kid back from the G League, I was like, this is terrible. You should know. You should not bring a kid in from the G League to play college basketball. Well, yeah, my tune changed when Will Wade stepped in. And I was like, do what you got to do, Will. I haven't talked bad about Alabama since then. So I'm not a hypocrite. My opinion can change, but I'm not a hypocrite. Do I think it's good for the sport? No. I'll be out front and say that. I don't think it's good for the sport that you have G League and semi-professional, if you want to call it semi-professional, I would probably call it professional basketball players from 4 countries come to play NCAA college basketball. But if the players are allowed to be on the roster, that means we're not breaking any rules. Change the rules. It's that simple. You have to live in the world now as an LSU fan, the villain era, where you know you have at least 2 coaches I would say 4, but at least 2 coaches who will publicly bend the rules. Bend them, not break them. And what I mean by bend the rules, they're going to play within the landscape of the rules in which you set. If you don't have hard and fast lines on those rules, they're not breaking them then. You may not like what we're doing, but we're not breaking the rules. If you don't like the way we're doing things, change the rules. It's that simple. It is that simple. Now with the 5-for-5 deal, is that going to come into play with a lot of this? Be honest with you, I'm not big tied into what's going on with LSU men's basketball at the moment, but I'm sure they'll pivot and do what they need to do to be able to play whoever they need to play. I have that faith in it. They're not going to walk on the court with 4 players next year. I promise you that. Jetfish wants to step up and let me take the burden of proof off of Jetfish here for a second, because it wasn't his show. It was Urban Meyer and Mark Ingram's show. Now, I don't believe this was Mark Ingram's doing, because I've heard Mark Ingram on that show when I did some research, standing up for the state of Louisiana, standing up for LSU to a point. Heisman winner from Alabama. Urban Meyer loves putting LSU in his mouth. He loves talking about the Tigers. He knows it'll bring views. He knows people like me, which I'm a minnow in this pond or this lake. We'll talk about it. I didn't get him a view, but I got him a view when I got that video off of their YouTube channel. LSU, whether LSU texted DeMond saying we'll give you $2 million more or not is irrelevant, because it didn't happen. And Jetfish coming out saying, look, we didn't give him a raise. Well, you just told every player that plays for you or is getting recruited by the University of Washington that you will not fight and give a pay raise to keep a player. Same thing goes for Ole Miss. You putting the buyout numbers out tells everyone what you were paying those players. And I think they're public record. The rev share numbers should be public record, but NIL deals aren't. But go look at rev share numbers for transfer portal players going into Ole Miss versus Prince Will and Devin Harper. Go look at the difference in funds that were promised to players. Ole Miss doesn't have the same problem LSU does. We have multiple sports who can win national championships. We have to spread that money like butter. LSU football has to get the lion's share because it makes money. I get it. LSU men's basketball and women's basketball has to get money because men's basketball is a revenue-generating sport. Women's basketball demands it due to the marketing and brand recognition that it gets, and they are a national championship winning head coach and team. LSU baseball is getting better funding. They're a multi-national championship winning team with this coach. Ole Miss has won a national championship in baseball. What else? How's their basketball team? I don't know. How's the women's basketball team? I don't know. Baseball team's good. Baseball team's good. They need an LSU Tiger coaching it to make it good. And they still cut players who had brain tumors because they were scared about him going to the Mayo Clinic. Ole Miss football made it to the playoff last year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You beat Tulane. Got you. You beat Georgia. Good job. Good job. Lost to Miami. That's not a national championship. To me, that means you lost. For all these teams who, like, calling out LSU baseball this year, saying, well, where were you? Did you make it to the final series? Because I'm pretty sure that wasn't you. I saw Oklahoma raising that trophy. If you don't win at all, you ain't won nothing. At LSU, we don't celebrate super regional appearances or regional appearances. We celebrate national championships. At LSU, we don't celebrate playoff appearances. We celebrate national championships. Now, in men's basketball, we celebrate, Sweet 16s and Elite Eights and all that jazz. Yeah, we do. But we don't do it across the board. And we definitely don't hang banners for a title or a co-champion title that you didn't get. It's that simple. Embrace the villain era because it's here. Let's get to the chat real quick, see what's going on with everybody. Kaylee Joe. How you doing, sweetie? Jim Cross, their baseball fan group is so much nicer than the football group. That's facts, 100%. Jeff Arnold is who I'm talking about, who we're going to coordinate the tailgate with from Ole Miss, and he seems to be a nice guy. His shorts ride a little high, but he seems like to be a really, really nice guy. Robbie, I DM you my number X. I got it. Got it. My buddy Brian Turner. By the way, y'all go follow my buddy Brian's new Instagram page. He started an Instagram page called Foes Up. F as in Foxtrot, E as in Echo, A as in Alpha, U as in Uniform, X as in X-Ray, S as in Sierra, U as in Uniform, P as in Papa. Foes Up. Y'all go give him a follow and support him. He's going to start putting out some information he has and his thoughts and feelings on LSU and New Orleans Saints football. He's going to tie in some baseball, he told me, because he loves baseball as well. So y'all go give him a follow, please, at Foes Up on Instagram. What's up, bro? Christ bless. I'll be doing a further breakdown on week 1 versus Clemson continuing tomorrow. That's it. On the Foes Up Instagram page. I'll make sure you go check that out. Uncle Randy. Yeah, you're right. Tommy Tanks has made it. He has. He has. I'll be honest with you. Not that I'm surprised he made the show. I'm surprised he's made it this quickly because he kind of started off the year somewhat slow, but he steadily progressed up and it looks good. The Athletics are bringing a lot of young guys up to the show and trying to get real young as a big team, and it's great to see. Saying what's up to Brian Turner and Robbie. Did y'all see where Cody Campbell wrote the Texas AG had checked for $274,300 a day before Texas AG spoke up about Tech? Uncle Randy, if you can send me that on Instagram or X, send me where you see that, because I know we broke down the different political contributions to the Ken Paxton fundraising effort for his run for AG, but I did not see that news. So if you could send me that evidence, Uncle Randy, I would really, 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 really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. All right. Before we go to our break real quick, I want to bring somebody up. So I'm all about one second. Sorry about that. I want to bring something up real quick. I love supporting local businesses around here, and especially businesses that support local athletics. I got a DM on Instagram from a company named Go Glove Works 44. They are a glove conditioning company and break-in company out of the Denham Springs, Watson, BR area. And they asked me if I would talk about their company. And I'll be honest with you. At first, I was like, I haven't worked with you, because I'll be honest with you guys. If I haven't worked with a company like Jesus One, if I never wore their clothing, if I never knew the story behind the brand and why they did what they did, I probably wouldn't push them, even though I do love Christ. But I don't want to come on here and say something that I don't know. But more and more I thought about it, and more and more I looked at their Instagram page, and I just felt like, you know what? I do want to talk about these guys. So I hit them up, and I said that I would talk about them. They wanted me to let y'all know. They specialize in glove relacing, cleaning, conditioning, and game-ready break-ins. And they pride themselves on the quality work and craftsmanship and always strive to have the quickest turnaround times in the area. So if you need either an old glove, Go Glove Works, I'll be honest with you, buddy, I'm not going to need you right now because this thing is still brand new. Matter of fact, I may get you to break it in, but I don't like those new break-ins y'all do. I'm old school. I like to break it in myself. That isn't just for show. I do like to go outside and toss the leather around a little bit, toss the pill. But if y'all need a glove reconditioned, if you need a break-in, if you have a child playing travel ball team right now, I was talking to my best friend today about his son playing travel ball and getting in the swing of things, having tryouts. If you're getting new gloves or you need to recondition or relace an old glove, go to their Instagram at GAUXGLOVEWORX44. That's Go Glove Works 44 on Instagram. Go hit them up. Go. I haven't checked their prices. Let me see something. I'll see if they have prices on their Instagram real quick. I know they're partnered with a glove conditioning company named Sarna, Sarna. I'll tell you what, I used Sarna when I broke in that glove in my wife's glove. It's amazing. Go to their Instagram. Go check out how they worked on Jack Ruckert's glove and how they cleaned it up. The black Jack Ruckert glove came out sweet. I'll be honest with you. But do me a favor, go and check out Go Glove Works 44 on Instagram. Give them some love, show them some love, and we'll be right back after these messages.
John 16:33, Jesus says, I've told you all this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart because I've overcome the world. Like that truth that Jesus won is so powerful, so significant in our lives if we fully trust and fully surrender to that promise. Like no matter what we're going to face, no matter what stress, no matter what challenges, no matter what anxiety, like Jesus promises peace, and he reminds us that all of the sin, the fear, the doubt, the shame, like he overcame it all. He paid the price for your sin and mine when he went to that cross. He died a death that we deserve. He went into the grave. He didn't stay there. 3 days later, he rose from the grave, and the promise is true that he's coming back someday. So the power and the significance of that verse is now in a two-word phrase that's on a t-shirt, on a hat, on a hoodie, and simply said, Jesus.
Even in the valley of the shadow of death, I can take rest, cause the living God is living in my chest. Every day I wake up feeling blessed, and even if I don't, I see it as a test. Cause
Join me and your favorite players by expressing your faith and assisting local ministries. Use code WalkItOffTalk for 20% off your orders at JesusOneApparel.com. 15% of your purchase will support local ministries like the LFU FCA. That is code WalkItOffTalk for 20% off. Jesus One. In South Louisiana, there's nothing we love more than God, family, sports, and food. For your next get-together, make sure you contact Lemme Sourdough Bakery. Whether you're gathering with friends and family for the big game or surrounding yourself with loved ones for a Sunday dinner, let Lemme Sourdough Bakery provide what you need to make it that much more special. Lemme Sourdough Bakery is a small batch, all organic bakery right here in the heart of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Go take a look at what's being mixed up in the kitchen next, as well as place your orders on Instagram at Lemme Sourdough Bakery. Don't forget to pick up your regular sourdough loaves, your jalapeno cheddar loaves, cookies for those late night snacks, and cinnamon rolls for those early morning cravings. Lemme Sourdough Bakery, where the first ingredient in anything made is love. Lemme Sourdough Bakery. And we are back. Uncle Randy sent me a link, so we're going to sit here and we're going to watch. We're going to have another movie time. Movie day. Y'all remember that when y'all were kids and you had a substitute teacher and it was a movie day? We're going to have some movie days tonight. But before we get to that, I wanted to shout out our boy, ATG, All Things Go. All Things Go right here is on the scene. Our boy, there we go. Our boy, ATG, is on the scene outside of football ops. Apparently, the coaches got called back to the office. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to find out. But I don't know what's going on. So, just FYI, y'all go give ATG a follow. If you don't follow ATG already, he was a guy who was sitting outside of football ops all the time during the Lane Kiffin saga and the Lamar Brown and the Jordan Seaton saga. He's a good dude. Y'all go give him a follow on X. Bunch of stalkers. Nah, man, ATG's good people, man. He's really good people. Stud Muffin, Paul, what's up? You put that, and I think about the scary movies when you had the dude in the mask going, what's up? That's what I think about. That's what I think about right there. All right. I just followed you on Instagram. Okay, cool. Thank you. Make sure y'all go follow Brian Turner, man. Go follow him up on Foes Up on Instagram. So before we get into the next segment, let's look at this video that Uncle Randy sent me. All right, here we go. Let's do some screen share.
Signed his contract.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can make that bigger. Yeah, that's right there. All right, here we go.
Did you know that Cody Campbell donated $275,000, or I should say $274,300 to Ken Paxton's fundraising campaign for U.S. Senate, according to campaign finance records that were newly uncovered by the Texas Tribune as they were filed to the Federal Election Committee on Wednesday. This news came out Wednesday evening, and it stems from an interest in us wanting to know why the Texas Attorney General decided to get involved with the NCAA, Texas Tech, and the Big 12. So Brendan Sorsby had perhaps allegedly, illegally made some bets, but certainly improperly made bets on sports, including his own team. The NCAA declared him permanently ineligible. A Texas judge decided to grant him an injunction that would allow him to play football. This would not have been good for the sport, because we would have broken one of the core principles of the sport, which is if you bet on your own team, if you bet on sports that are anywhere near the sport that you're playing, you probably shouldn't be allowed to play football anymore. And we have seen the NCAA do this once before with Hunter Deckers, who lost his football career over a $15 bet, or about that much money, and was forced to go the JUCO route, and has since become a professional playing quarterback in the UFL and versus the New Orleans Saints. The news that Cody Campbell, who is who's the chairman of the Board of Regents at Texas Tech, donated this money to Ken Paxton the day before Paxton sent this letter that claimed that it would be unlawful for Texas Tech to, for the Big 12 to sanction Texas Tech because Brendan Sorsby would play, brings up this idea that Paxton would be able to sue the Big 12 for legal damages. If that sounds like a lot, it's because it is. The idea that you would have an attorney general going to bat for one university in its state that everybody is saying probably shouldn't be the university to back in this particular instance, and a player that is wrong and has admitted wrongdoing, is fascinating enough. But what is more fascinating for our purposes is that Texas Tech's whole case, and Brendan Sorsby's whole case, was undone by Paxton sending this letter.
Oh, 1 second. So, looking at that, it goes back to what I said whenever this whole thing unraveled and we had our diatribes and our lectures on Cody Campbell and Texas Tech and Ken Paxton. If the Big 12 doesn't see this campaign contribution and find a way to remove Cody Campbell from any participation in any college athletics or college period, I don't know what's wrong with this country. To blatantly go out and make such over $250,000. Now, this is all allegedly, because he didn't provide any documentation or anything like that to support his claims. But to come out and make that big of a donation the day before Ken Paxton sends that letter to the Big 12 threatening to sue them for damages, what else is going to make you turn? What else is going to make you do something about this? What else? I don't know what else can. That's just campaign contributions are public information. Did you not think someone was going to find that? Uncle Randy, tell me who that was again so I can give them a shout out from that show. But man, we may have to take a deeper dive into that real quick. So I think we have a Ole Miss fan in the chat disguised as a LSU fan. Why we act like we don't do the same type of shady stuff in Louisiana? If you must be new to the channel. If you are, welcome to the show. I hope you subscribe and hope you follow all the social media pages. If you've listened to me before, you've heard me say that Louisiana is a corrupt state. It's that simple. Louisiana is a very, 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 very corrupt state. I'm not saying that stuff hasn't happened before. We all know the story about the governor getting in the middle of LSU firing Les Miles and not letting it happen. We all know that story. So I've never said LSU is not a corrupt state. We may be better at hiding our corruption, but we are a corrupt state. Robbie in the chat. Santiago Garcia just posted a few hours ago. He just signed the Jays and is going pro on Instagram. Congratulations to Santiago Garcia, man. Congratulations, buddy. It's you look at more and more and more, you see the same teams with LSU baseball players on it. If you look at the thumbnail tonight, you'll see the Pirates, the Reds, the Blue Jays, the Rockies, the Cubs, but the Cubs didn't really sign Breggs. He it was a free agent deal. You see a myriad of teams. The Dodgers have Paul Gervais on the mound. You see a lot of guys. A lot of guys. All right. Let's get into our next topic. So, before we get into LSU baseball and their rise in Major League Baseball, let's get into what Brian Kelly had to say this week on a podcast associated with Notre Dame. And the name of that show we watched that clip from was Adapt and Respond with RJ Young. Shout out to RJ Young and the Adapt and Respond podcast. The staff writer of And the Valley Shook, David Billiot. He's driving, can't comment, but wanted to say what's up. Drive safe, my guy. Drive safe. Brian Kelly came out in a recent interview this week and talked about what happened to LSU and what went wrong. It is pretty simple what went wrong. We all knew what went wrong. He finally admitted it. It was coordinator hires. Now, he also tries to pass the blame off and say that we wanted success too fast, but it was just coordinator hires. And it's funny how he doesn't bring up Mike Denbrock's name in this whole situation. He talks about Joe Sloan taking over a rough situation. He never says Mike Denbrock and the absolute success he had in 2023 and 2022 with Jaden Daniels, but he doesn't say his name. The one coordinator hire he had that he wasn't forced to make, like Blake Baker, the one coordinator hire he could not keep in the building because he was worried about losing Bryce Underwood, and you still did. Keeping Joe Sloan was what tanked your team, tanked your career here at LSU. And if I'm not mistaken, LSU is the only job Brian Kelly's ever been fired from. So that's just to tell you something. He puts the blame for his failure at LSU at the hands of Matt House and somewhat to Joe Sloan, but he kind of gives Joe Sloan an out by saying he had a really tough time and he was experienced in some ways and he wasn't experienced in other ways. Well, isn't your job as a head coach to pick up where your coordinators fail? Or were you too busy playing golf, Kelly? Were you too busy playing golf, BK? You made the hire. You kept Joe Sloan around. If Joe Sloan wasn't experienced as he needed to be an offensive coordinator in the SEC, why didn't you go find another offensive coordinator? Why'd you let Mike Denbrock walk out the door over Joe Sloan then? Now, I'll give him a pass on Matt House somewhat because David Billiot in the chat can attest to this. Matt House in 2022 was great. If you say he wasn't great in 2022, you're just lying. Great may be a stretch. Good. We all wanted Matt House back. I remember there was a short time in the offseason between 22 and 23 where Matt House was thought to go take another job, and we were worried about losing him as defensive coordinator. In 2022, Matt House wasn't a terrible defensive coordinator. 2023, it all hit the fan. And he didn't voluntarily fire Matt House. He was forced to fire Matt House, and the only good thing that ever happened from Scott Woodward now looking back in hindsight, is he forced Brian Kelly to hire Blake Baker. And Blake Baker was like, I want this guy, I want this guy, I want this guy. And Kelly had to be like, okay. Because Kelly did not want Blake Baker back. Plain and simple. Brian Kelly did not want Blake Baker back in that building. Blake Baker is the reason why you have the defense today, not only just because of Blake Baker, but who he forced Brian Kelly to bring back on the coaching staff, i.e., the godfather of DBU, Corey Raymond. And Blake Baker's defense, the only reason you were somewhat in games in 2025 until the Texas A&M game. They carried that team last year. I wish I could quickly go back and check the time of possession stat between the LSU offense and opposing teams on the year to see just how much that defense was on the field. Brian Kelly trying to shift blame to coordinators is a Brian Kelly thing. He's really CEOing it. The CEO head coach, he's really CEOing it by doing that. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Let's look in the chat real quick. I think if Kelly would have just taken over play calling, he might have gotten another year. I don't think Brian Kelly knew where the playbook was in that ops building. My buddy Young, how you doing, buddy? He was too busy at the real estate chick's house. We're not going to discuss that here. We don't need to get into, I know it's not really allegedly, but we're not going to get into allegedly like that around here. All right. So up on the thumbnail, I want to talk about the prevalence of LSU baseball players coming into Major League Baseball and at the rate they're coming into. Like I talked about the other night when I brought up Braxton Beatty. Gage Jump got drafted in after the 24 season. He's in the majors. Tommy White tonight got drafted in the 24 season. He's in the majors. Paul Skeens, we all know that rise. Dylan Cruz, we all know that rise. And then the Nationals tried to mess him up, but he's coming back strong. He's got to swing back. And you can't forget about guys who've been in the league. Aaron Nola, Jake Fraley, Kevin Gosman, Jaden Hill, Jake Fraley. I think I said Jake Fraley already. Alex Bregman, Josh Smith. Guys just all over Major League Baseball. I wish I'd have counted. I was trying to hurry and make that thumbnail before we went live. But it's a ton of Major League Baseball guys coming from the state of Louisiana. Not to even mention the guys who just got drafted, the guys who were in AA ball. Cade Anderson's looking like, I bet if Cade Anderson got drafted by the Athletics, he may be in the show right now. Him and Anthony Einson. They're moving guys up fast. Fast. But Cade Anderson's knocking on the door of the show and telling the Mariners, hey, I may be ready. You need to just go ahead and put me up there. Anthony Einson and the Red Sox are doing a really good job taking care of his arm, taking care of him, making sure he develops right. He's looking amazing. He earned the win in the Futures game the other night. In the Futures game. You got guys like Jared Jones, Ethan Fry, and so many more that are doing. Trey Morgan, who's in AAA, doing a great job. Sorry, I was getting a text message. If you don't believe Jay Johnson's doing a good job developing talent, now granted, he didn't develop Aaron Nola, he didn't develop Kevin Gosman, but his guys are moving fast. And look at this draft class that just came in from the high school ranks, who got through the draft. If Jay Johnson hasn't earned his compensation for what he needs to have a championship winning program, I don't know what will prove it to you. And Go Tiger 70714. No, Tommy is in the starting lineup tomorrow night, and he will have his opening debut against Dylan Cruz and the Washington Nationals. My buddy Toki Doki doing it late to say he knew the superior menu 100%. Talking about BK there. Tomorrow night. Okay, yeah, you letting Go Tigers know. No, Tommy's in the starting lineup tomorrow night. Okay. Anything else y'all want to talk about? I'm about tapped. Again, I want to apologize for tonight's show being different from what was expected with Kerry Vincent Jr. with KVJ. He had a opportunity or something that he couldn't pass on, and I don't blame him. The plan is tomorrow night at our scheduled time, as usual, 6 o'clock, even though we don't usually go on Friday nights. We're going to have Kerry Vincent Jr. on the show. We're going to talk all about some LSU football, guys. All about some LSU football. It's going to be great to talk to the 2019 football champion. And just to get some, like, I just want to hear some stories behind that 2019 football team. I want to hear some stories about how that locker room was, how Joe and how like Grant Delpin, Caleb Von Jason and Derek Stingley and all those guys, like how, Corey Raymond was while he was there. Like, it's going to be fun to hear about. I'm really, really, really excited for it. And again, like I said earlier, tomorrow morning, I don't have a time. It's probably going to be a very quick notice. Just FYI, we may have a second show with a fan that I know Uncle Randy would be excited to see. Most of y'all in the chat would be really, 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 really excited to see. Maybe. Just maybe. We have a co-host as well. Never know. Got to see what happens and what we can figure out before then. Let me see something real quick. Oh, never mind. There's the answer to my question. So, we are going to be joined today by the lovely last minute addition to the show. And I'm going to get her fired up because seems like I have a topic that may get her upset. Miss Daily Joy.
Oh, God, I'm scared.
So the only reason BK got fired was the coordinators?
Get out of my face. Who said that?
Him.
Wait.
Him.
Where?
Him. I can't remember the name of the podcast. He went on a podcast and he talked about his time at LSU and what went wrong. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I'll send it to you.
Oh, I'm going to find it. Is he fucking kidding? Sorry. I know this is a very Jesus
hey, no.
approved podcast.
You're okay.
But
I knew your state when you came on.
Look, Jesus turned water into wine. I think he's okay if I drop a couple bad words every now and then. I think he can handle it. Is he kidding?
Let me find the
Is he forgetting that his coordinators were hired by him?
I just finished talking about that. Let me see. All right. So I want to find the short. So it's called the Independent, a Notre Dame football podcast.
Can you just text it to me so I can watch it really quickly and then get?
Well, I'm trying to find the short. It is the whole podcast is 40 some odd.
Someone said, when did Ella Langley get on the show? Guys, if y'all think I look like Ella, I'll take it. She's stunning.
Let me see. You may have to scrub because I don't have a short, but you may have to scrub.
Who posted it?
It's called The Independent, a Notre Dame podcast. I just texted you the link. But how are you doing today, by the way? Owner of SEC Pretty, putting out some awesome little content recently with
thank you.
The red and green flags of your college football fan base, and if you want to date a Arkansas fan and all that jazz.
Yeah. I'm great. SEC Pretty it's evolving. I think the reality of it, love the petty.
He's always there.
Do you have a series coming out soon, which is what is the most cult-like fan base? And I feel like that will really identify with a good bit of SEC fans. I said SEC fans. I don't acknowledge that school over there.
I can say it. You can't. I can say it.
You can say it. But yeah, I just realized, like, if I'm just being really honest, I feel like this is a good time to just be honest. At the end of the day, like, I love college football, and I created a brand that was built around college football, but like, I never saw myself as someone that like was going into owning an apparel brand. Like, I want to talk about football. And so I've recently been talking to a lot of people that have really taught me how to merge those things. And so that's really what SEC Pretty is like becoming. And I'm really proud of it. Yeah, I'm going to continue to be my like funny, goofy self because that's who I am as a person. So yeah, I want to warn you that if you want to date a Georgia fan, they're going to bark at you. I
What's
want to
the-
warn you that if you're going to date an Arkansas fan, they're never going to shut up about that foul ball in 2018 that they dropped. Like, there's things that the girls need to be warned about. And honestly, frankly, some men too. But yeah, I'm really proud of what SEC Pretty is becoming. And I also am in a position where like SEC Pretty has to make it. And so it's my only hope. So I'm going to put a lot more energy and love into SEC Pretty because it's my baby. It's my world.
So I got a question for you then.
Okay,
You
what's
can
up?
think about this while you do some scrubbing. I'm not going to spoil your short that you're going to put out eventually, but I'm going to turn it. I'm going to twist it.
Okay.
Red and green flags of dating an LSU baseball fan.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah, because it's going to be mainly just about
Football.
a fan in general. So I don't feel like I'm spoiling anything.
Yeah, just
Green
this-
green flag. They're okay if you come in and out of their world, just like their transfer portals. just like their transfer portal editions.
Good one. That's a good one.
We get random men all the time. My red flag is that they'll have the same expectations of you that they have of the baseball program, which is to win a national championship every year. So yeah,
They want a trophy wife.
they want a trophy. Yeah, you need to be a trophy wife year in and year out. So you better be willing to pay for that.
I had a thought about your friend as well, the Oklahoma fan, dating
Okay.
a guy who's not who's
Yeah.
never watched a second. And you said, would you rather date somebody who's like a staunch, like in that instance, Texas fan, or
Yeah,
I would rather date someone, which I'm married happily.
right.
Just,
Yeah.
love you, honey.
We love her. Big fans.
We do. I would rather date someone who's a hardcore rival, because A, those house divided flags go hard. B, it makes for fun around the house. Like it would make.
That's
for
what
a
most
fun
people have
week.
said. Most people have said like they would rather date an arch rival because at the end of the day, their Saturdays are dedicated to college football, and someone that's never watched a minute of college football wouldn't be understanding of that. And so
She's
yeah,
gonna know
no,
what it feels like to be a guy.
yeah, no, I mean, I fully understand that. I don't think I could ever fully. Okay,
We can't talk about that.
wait, time out. I wasn't going there, Paul. My ex-boyfriend played baseball at LSU, but he did not give a you know what about LSU football. And I'll never forget the day that I probably realized that we weren't soulmates. I was in Iowa for the Iowa Penn State game, but I was prepared because we were playing Vanderbilt. And I woke up that morning to a good morning. I'm on my way to the golf course. Who does LSU play today? And I literally responded back and said, some days I don't know how we're together. And we broke up like 3 months later. So I should have known then that it was never going to work.
It's funny. You came up in conversation with my wife. We were going to like the store. We were going to buy something, and somehow you came up with. I was talking about her. Like I told you about the sourdough stuff.
Yeah.
And we talked about your boyfriend, and we talked about this and that. And I was like, I think
Wait, my current boyfriend?
yes.
Okay.
Correct. I don't know your ex, but I was like, I think it's perfect because they both are very independent people because they have to be in what they do, and they're not going to sit there and be like, why haven't you texted me? Oh my goodness. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
I haven't talked to him in 3 days. And I mean, like,
There's no
haven't
excuse
talked-
today from what you told me.
I mean, haven't like talked to him on the phone, like spoken.
text.
We have interacted via like text, like we'll love a message, we'll heart him. Like we know each other's alive. But there's a couple of things that are happening right now. Like it's not just that we're in the off season, it's that like you have family in town or people are visiting. Like there's other priorities that are going into effect right now. So I'm okay with being number 2 for a little while.
I'm texting you my joke because I'm not saying it on the screen.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Oh,
Paul is one of like 7 people in the entire world that know who I'm dating right now. So.
yeah. I'm not going to be the one to break that news. No way. What is wrong?
No, but literally though, Paul, that's what it feels like. Maybe even less. I think I'm getting less. If we're being
Like,
honest.
Is that not like I heard that and I went, sounds like people I know.
No, I'm getting less. Less.
Nah, he's not.
It's okay though. I'm good.
Anyway, so yeah, so to keep from scrubbing, they asked him what happened at LSU, and he said Kelly, and he said that Matt House, having to fire defensive coordinator after year 2 was a big problem, and he never mentioned Mike Denbrock. And then he said Joe Sloan was in a situation he couldn't win, and What's wrong with you? Oh, he's in a situation he couldn't win because he was experienced in some ways and not experienced in others. And I'm like, aren't you the head coach who's supposed to fix that? And I told people, remember, he didn't want to hire Blake Baker, who brought back Corey Raymond and brought Kevin Peoples and brought all these people back. Like,
I'm so angry right now. I'm seething.
how, like, he
I'm
is
seething.
pushing all the blame off, like the CEO head coach he is. It's never the CEO's fault. It's always everybody else.
There is zero. I find it so ironic how much people want to talk about Lane and his lack of accountability, because Brian Kelly is textbook of inability to take accountability for your actions. Every single person you are moaning and complaining about was your hire. You picked them. And the one person that you didn't pick, which was Blake Baker, has been retained by Lane Kiffin. So obviously he's not doing that bad of a job.
No.
The audacity and the inability to look in the freaking mirror. I've said this for a very long time. It's a plague across all college football head coaches, because college football coaches love to play the blame game. They get in that head coaching spot and it's like, who can we blame for not being successful? God forbid we just freaking acknowledge it. And for some reason, LSU has hardcore been plagued by coaches that are unable to do this. Les Miles was completely unable to acknowledge his failures at coaching and at hiring. And we repeated that again. That's why I am so willing to call Brian Kelly Les Miles 2.0. A lot of people don't agree with me on that one, because Les Miles won an Addy with Nick Saban's players. If
Jay Johnson isn't Les
Kelly
Miles
would have
2.0?
inherited the same program that Les Miles inherited, Brian Kelly too would have won a national championship.
Oh,
Hear
100%.
me loud and clear. So the inability to take accountability, look, go sit at your beach resort in Kaya on 30A and shut up. Because just own it. Just say, I was in over my head. I should have never left Notre Dame. I thought I was capable of more than I was. Actually, you know what? I'll just finally call it what it is, because we've all been very nice about it. I was at Notre Dame and I really didn't put in that much effort, but because I didn't play in a conference, and when I did play in a conference, it was weak. And so I was able to make the college football playoff. Sure, I never really won. And when I did make the postseason, I was completely embarrassed, but that's beside the point. That was all the school's fault, not my fault. So instead, I'm going to take the job at LSU, where they breed national champions. They come out the womb ready to win an Addy. And I'm just going to inherit all of that talent. It actually takes no recruiting skill or ability whatsoever. You don't have to get to know anyone in that position. And I'm just going to take all those players and I'm just going to go win an Addy, because all you have to do at LSU is show up.
You said something perfect, though, but I want to ask you this. There is one coach that was very successful that has a tie to LSU who did not pass blame off. And he's possibly the most successful head coach of college football history, Nick Saban.
Correct.
He didn't pass blame off. That's what made him successful.
No doubt.
Lane Kiffin has taken that same turn from Nick, and he's came out and said, yeah, I made bad decisions. Yeah, it was my fault. I did this, I did that, but I'm fixing them. I'm not on social media because my kids told me I act crazy. Like the joke headliner on top of his X was, I'm on my phone too much or whatever.
Right.
It was a joke until it wasn't. And now you got, I don't even want to get into Ole Miss and their stupidity. And then Jed Fish in Washington. Did you see that?
I can't. I just
having the outline of Mike the Tiger mascot. I mean, he's like, another team called Demond and offered him $2 million.
Can I just be really for real with y'all for all for everyone else a second? I hope someone clips this. I hope it goes viral. If your school's poor, just say that.
Ole Miss and Washington.
All of them.
Well, think of it like this. Think how
Ole
stupid.
Miss, Washington, Clemson, Dabo, you cry, baby, whiny little, you know what?
Yeah.
All y'all that are poor, just acknowledge the fact that you're poor. I'd rather, because here's the deal. All y'all do is spend your time griping and complaining about the schools that potentially stole recruits or did steal recruits or were close to stealing recruits. And if you took half your energy and sent it to your donors, which, by the way, if you paid any attention to LSU outside of just hating our head coaches because they're not yours anymore, you would know that LSU fans complain to their own head coaches more than any other fan base. And if you don't believe that, I need you to go look at Twitter from January to May of this year when LSU baseball fans were wreaking havoc on social media because the fear of losing Jay Johnson was greater than the fear of our bank accounts. I guarantee you there's people that went bankrupt and didn't pay bills because they were donating to LSU baseball NIL. If you would spend half your energy complaining to your donors and to the people that donate money to your school and to your alumni bases as you do to complaining about the fact that LSU is capable of getting guys and staffers that you can't get, you'd probably be in a lot better of a situation. But all y'all do is moan and cry and complain and bring stuff up to the NCAA, which, by the way, is powerless.
Yes.
And you accomplish absolutely nothing other than the fact that you make yourself look like crybaby, whiny little you-know-whats. And when that happened, like, it's why I have no respect. If Ole Miss would just come out and be like, hey, we're pissed.
Yeah.
I can own that. I
Stand
can
on
understand your I can understand y'all being mad. I wholeheartedly can. I get it. Do I think that half the anger that you have towards Lane Kiffin should be targeted at Keith Carter? Yeah.
I think all of it.
He wanted to be the head coach through the playoff and y'all didn't want him to. No, Ole Miss fans are irrational. So they don't think that there's any other place better than Oxford and Ole Miss. So I 50% give them that, because if you don't know any better, then how do you argue any better? You don't know any better.
Yeah.
They don't travel outside of Oxford. It's why they're not a good they've never been known as a good traveling opponent to play. As someone that's legitimately toured
the SEC,
90% of this
Big
conference,
10, Big 12.
I have 2 schools left in the conference. I'm going to Michigan this year. I've been to Iowa. I've gone to a lot of places that are touted as like big time away game atmospheres. Ole Miss has never one time traveled well, ever. They don't. So if you want to be a school that's touted as this like heavy SEC powerhouse, you need to be willing to match the energy that the heavy SEC powerhouses are matching. And you're not capable of doing that. So just own where you sit in the conference, which is we're not a donor-heavy program. We don't have the financial backing that a lot of these SEC powerhouses have. And Lane Kiffin was fully prepared. Him and his staff were fully prepared to go all the way with us throughout the playoffs. And we decided we were too good for that and he could go. That's on you, Ole Miss. That's on you. So your fan base, which might I remind y'all, Ole Miss has a 97% acceptance rate. So your fan base that majority probably did go to your school simply because they could get in, and the part that couldn't go because they couldn't afford it. All of them need to be aware of the fact that at least half, if not more than half of the blame sits on your athletic director. And your energy and your anger is severely misguided.
Well, like, so I made that post the other day about it was a rage bait post saying, "Oh, we're broke, we don't have money. We need the money back."
Love a rage bait post.
Oh, it works every time.
Always.
Well, the Velvet
Tennessee
Ditch.
fans hate me today.
The Velvet Ditch decided to get into my comments.
Not the Velvet Ditch.
The Velvet Ditch got in my comments. The low rent.
Have you been
supper
to the
club.
Velvet Ditch?
I haven't been to Oxford. What they have more? We have more than Dairy Queen and Baton Rouge. I don't need to drive up to Oxford. All right.
Okay. Side note. Oxford's kind of cool.
I'm sure it's a beautiful town. I'm sure it is.
If Ole Miss wasn't in Oxford,
Or if
Oxford
they
would be perfection.
Well, like I said earlier on the show, I said you have good Ole Miss fans. Like there are some that are not bad.
Yeah.
The loud majority ruins it for the rest. But I asked him. I said, "Okay, integrity check real quick, because you want to come in with this integrity check. Did Ole Miss drop the ball on Summerall after they had a private meeting in Hammond at a FBO because he came out and said, 'I'm not going to Oxford for an interview'? And at that time, 2 weeks before Lane took the job, by the way, you thought you were going to tell Summerall to leave Tulane and coach Ole Miss in the playoff. And you were going to have him coach. That's why you were telling Lane no. But as soon as Summerall ditched you and you knew Lane was going, hey, Pete, come here.
Well, it wasn't
get
just
up there.
Pete. It wasn't just Pete. It was the fact that at that point, like, it's why I tweeted. It went viral on Twitter, but it was why I tweeted. It was at the LSU Oklahoma game. I'm watching the game, but I'm also on Twitter because that game was not fun to watch. And I'm watching all of these reporters, journalists, everyone say, like, everyone's kind of waiting on what Lane's going to do because that's going to dictate what happens in the rest of the conference. And I straight up said, if you don't think LSU is the best job available, you're kidding yourself, because every other school is waiting on hand and foot to see what LSU does. Yeah. Because we were controlling the rest of the SEC job market. That everyone knew that whoever took the LSU job was out, and then that was going to dictate the rest of the market. And I would dare to say, and no, I'm just going to say it, if you're an Ole Miss fan, which I don't feel like you have a lot of Ole Miss followers, but if you did, this is what I would say to them. You're so mad at Lane. But again, the energy is so misdirected because Keith Carter knew that there was a chance that Lane was gone. And instead of prepping his athletic department accordingly, he decided to take whatever road he needed to be on. I'm going to call it the uppity road, and believe that there was no better job than Ole Miss for Lane Kiffin. And the second that Lane left, then what happened is you also thought you were so high and mighty that you sent John Summerall on his way. And then Alex Golesh.
Oh, no, he turned him down.
No, that's what I'm saying. At this point in time, like, no one wanted to work for you.
I wonder why. Did Lane talk about that?
And now you're hoity-toity toting around Pete Golding as if he's some kind of prize. As if, yet again, our state didn't benefit you in some way. As if you didn't hire the degenerate from Hammond.
The only championship program was led by a LSU Tiger.
And then you have to go take our GM. Hi, Austin. Love you.
He did come. I think he came from Ole Miss too, though, right? He came back.
But he was at LSU first, Paul.
Okay,
he was
no.
He was at LSU when I worked in recruiting as a college student. Austin was at LSU.
Yeah, no, I'm not hating on Austin Thomas. Like, I don't have an issue with Austin.
They've always taken what was ours.
Look,
he was at LSU. He was at LSU in 2019. Yeah. Lane hired him away, and then Austin said, "I want to go home."
Yeah. And if it wasn't for that breakup, he probably would have been here. But
he'd still be here.
Yeah, if it wasn't for a breakup with Lane.
I feel confident in saying Austin Thomas would still be here. As his friend, I feel confident in saying Austin Thomas, if Brian Kelly had not been fired, it really, even if I'm just being so for real with y'all, it wasn't even Brian Kelly. It was Woodward. Woodward being fired. Because Brian Kelly didn't want to hire Austin. Because Brian Kelly didn't think we needed a GM. Which, yet again, an idiot. He didn't think we needed a GM. And Scott Woodward was like, we don't understand the NIL game. We got to get someone in here that does. So they hired Austin back from Ole Miss. But when Austin left Ole Miss went and hired Billy Glasscock from the University of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
At a
midnight
interview at the Austin airport.
And I look, same way he got Sam Levitt in Knoxville. You know what I mean? But
Correct.
I think we all benefited from it. I think we have the best GM in the country.
I
love Austin to death.
I love
think we have the best GM in the country.
I would go to bat for Austin Thomas. I think Austin Thomas is incredible.
Same way they think Frank Wilson's going to be the best.
I would lay a lot of money down that there is not a man in college athletics that understands the college football market and how much players should and shouldn't be paid and the in and outs of contracts the way that Billy Glasscock does.
But that's how stupid Keith Carter really is, because who should be handling the buyout stuff with Ole Miss? Austin Thomas. Keith Carter going out there and putting out the numbers for the buyouts. You're telling everyone what you're paying, what you were going to pay those guys.
If I'm being honest, I don't think, I'm going to confirm at this exact moment, but I don't think Austin Thomas has any say in this whole back and forth about like potentially suing these players.
Oh, no, I don't think he does at all. I do have one question for you, though, about Austin that's on my head.
What's up?
I never understood. Why does he wear a headset walking on the sideline? He's a GM, not a coach.
Do you want to ask? Let me ask.
Please, because I don't think
I'll
we're gonna see BG. Oh, BG. I'm about to make a graphic. He gonna have golds in his teeth. That's my GM right there. But like, I don't think we're gonna see Glasscock
No, you won't. You won't.
walking
He
the
doesn't
sidelines
wear
with a headset.
No.
Like, I remember seeing that standing next to Brian Kelly. Like, is he there to like as an emotional support animal for Brian Kelly right now because he doesn't know what's going on? Like, and no shade on Austin.
No, you're fine.
But it's that simple. You're telling everybody what you were gonna pay those guys, and you overpaid them. It's not our fault.
Well, that's
we didn't
another thing
overpay
that
them.
I think is like insanely different is that like Austin, again, this is when I talk about Austin, Austin's my friend. So
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to hear this and think I'm shitting on Austin. I love Austin. Austin and I to this day are friends and we'll be friends for a very long time. Austin knew me when I was in college. Austin and I have a very long history. I fully believe in everything Austin Thomas is and his position in collegiate athletics. And the reality is he is one of the best GMs in the country. I happen to think we have the best GM in the country,
agree.
not one of the best. But that's my opinion. But
we have the best staff in the country, and I don't know this for a fact. You can't tell me Glasscock's not involved in other NIL dealings around other sports to assist them in the rules and amounts and kind of has an idea of things to assist them. Like, you can't tell me that isn't happening. I don't know for sure, but I'm sure.
Okay, I won't tell you.
No. If just think about it, right? Like, if you have somebody who's that experienced and you're trying to navigate this market, look at Will Wade trying to bring in professional basketball players. Wouldn't you just be like, hey, can you give me an idea of what this would be? I mean, I would ask him because I feel like you have the help there, just take it. Whether they are or not, it seems like a good idea to me. But
yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I don't really know. I would think that if you had someone of that caliber on your staff, on the LSU athletic staff, so you would probably ask, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I think that LSU fully was aware of the fact that as much as I love Austin Thomas, wasn't at the same caliber as Billy Glasscock. And I don't want to say that in like a negative way, because again, I love Austin.
yeah,
I think they did their jobs very differently. And I think Austin being so close to Scott Woodward changed the way that he operated. Whereas at the end of the day, Billy Glasscock is Lane Kiffin's guy.
yeah. And to give a little bit of some grace to Austin, I think he was withheld from being able to do his job properly, probably more the way Billy Glasscock does, due to Scott Woodward and Brian Kelly.
Yeah, I think I will say, and I feel confident saying this, and I don't think Austin would have a problem with me saying this. When I've had conversations with Austin, it's been very clear that he inherited a complete mess. And so he did his best in a very short amount of time to set LSU up for success. Now, whether or not that is making Billy Glasscock look better at his job than he actually is, I'm not entirely sure. I don't believe that to be the case, just simply based on what Billy Glasscock did at Ole Miss.
Yes.
Convinces
somebody to go there, period.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversation too about like how much we spend on a roster. And there was a lot of conversation last year for Ole Miss. And I was told by someone very close to the organization that this is the difference, is that a lot of people really focus on how much we spend on our roster, total roster, which is what most people that are casuals pay attention to. But what a lot of schools and a lot of media entities aren't paying attention to is the on the field roster. So how much are you paying the guys that are actually seeing the field week in and week out? Of every college football playoff team, Ole Miss had the highest on the field roster, which means they're paying the guys that are playing the highest amount of money. That is more than likely what's going to happen with LSU. So everyone wants to freak out about the $40 million number. I don't give a damn as long as the guys that are making the money are the guys that are also making the plays. Pay Whit Weeks. Pay Trey'Daz Green. Pay Sam Levitt.
Pay Prince Will. Pay
Prince
Devin
Will.
Harper. Pay
Pay
TJ
them all.
Dottery. Pay
every
Jordan
kid
Seaton.
going to media days. Pay them all if they're seeing the field. But there's this big argument about how much a team is spending on a roster, which is a dumb argument because if you're paying a guy that's sitting on your bench $1 million, he's not doing any good for your organization or your team.
LSU baseball just went through that.
I'm trying. I
know.
Paul, I had almost healed.
Oh no, I'm healed.
I'm not.
We got Dominic Santarelli in the house. What are you?
No, I'm not
talking
healed
about?
from. No, I'm not. I'm healed for the. I'm not healed from this past season.
Oh, I think it was the best thing that happened to LSU baseball.
I do think if I'm just, we can transition if we need to,
yeah.
but I do think that I love Jay. Me and you know this. We don't ever bash Jay. We're very team pro Jay around these parts.
Mhm.
In the NIL era, I think every school at some level has to go through something where they recognize like the way NIL is benefiting their program and the way NIL is hurting their program and the way that we're going to have to change the way that we address the transfer portal. And as much as people would like to hate on what happened over the past year, me included, I'm devastated about it. Let's be clear. I don't think there's an LSU baseball fan on earth that isn't. But if what just happened is what needed to happen for Jay to see the best way to navigate the portal and NIL in this era of college baseball, I'm glad it happened now. Because some of these schools still don't know what they're doing.
Well, I
So-
don't even think it's Jay. I think it was the administration looking at it and going, "Oh, we didn't really fund Jay the way we needed to, and also we need to get him somebody who can look at the transfer portal while he's winning in Omaha."
Well, I do think Jay acknowledged that he messed up. Like Jay said.
Oh, he did.
That's
but
what those are the parts
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Like Jay straight up was like, I addressed the portal the wrong way. I should have developed from within and I didn't. And I
he was
instead
talking
went and tried
about.
to get yeah. And you know what? That's the difference in Jay Johnson, who's won 2 national championships, and Brian Kelly, that's won 0. Accountability matters. And your inability to take accountability will cost you games.
He didn't even wait to the end of the season. It was
No.
like what, March, and he was like, "This will never
Yeah,
happen again."
That was after
It was after Sacramento State. Sacramento
what it
State, I
was?
think.
I thought
Sacramento
it was after an SEC series.
No, I think it was right before, because I think it was the Sacramento State, what was it, Northeastern week when they lost like 3 in a row, and he was like, "Oh no, this will never happen again."
Yeah, maybe. I just remember I want to say it was
He did say it multiple times.
yeah, he did say it multiple times, which thank God. But I want to say, I think it was after we lost at home to, what series did I come home for? Florida?
Yeah, Florida was late.
No,
though.
Florida and A&M. So it was after A&M. It was after A&M, and he said something about it. And then the next weekend they were going to state. And he was like, that was when the media started asking him, like, how many conference wins do you need to make the postseason? And he was like, this is how many wins we need. And then they went to state and they got swept. And it was after that he was like, I don't think we can do this. And it's my fault that we can't do this kind of thing. And I think that's what I remember. And then I was like, I'm going to go home for Florida just for fun.
I think SEC Pretty should start a new, not fun, but trend to not jump on Dominic Santarelli, because he's a grown man as a kid.
What do you mean not jump on?
Let the man rest. He doesn't need every girl knocking on his dorm room.
Do you? First of all, I've never encouraged any girl to knock.
I know you haven't. I'm just saying. I'm putting out the ones that I
For
know you
starters,
haven't.
can I just be really honest with you, Paul? When I was in college, even the best players weren't in dorm rooms.
Well, you know what I mean when I say dorm room. On his apartment door.
I
or
knocked
whatever.
on many a WCA apartment in my day. Just kidding, one apartment.
But no, what I'm saying is let the man be. It's so big. He's so big. It's crazy.
Well, I'm over here. I live in Atlanta, and everyone's talking about Marco Paz, and I'm like, can we not? Can
Is
we
it?
not?
Did he change his name to Marco now? And he went to Georgia
Marcos,
and pulled
whatever.
like like Georgia put out Marco.
Did they?
Georgia put out Marco.
Shut up.
I think they fixed it, but they put out Marco, and I'm like, is he like Michael Stanton? He went to New York, became Giancarlo. Like, what's
Hang
going on?
1 second.
Because I saw multiple people.
Did y'all put his name wrong in the graphic? Question mark.
It wasn't
did
the SEC pretty graphic.
No, I know that's the I just sent that to the
Oh.
first base coach / pitching coach at Georgia.
If anybody wants, Joy got everybody.
I already got a text back. Who?
They fixed it. I think they fixed it, but I
He
remember
said
seeing
in what graphic? So when they announced,
Paz.
right?
Yes.
When y'all announced, y'all put him as Marco instead of Marcos.
I saw Marco, and I was like, did he change his name?
We can go
Like-
look and see if it's edited. That was such a quick text back. He's probably freaking out. I'm crying. He did work at LSU. He was on the LSU staff when LSU won.
I'm
in
trying to remember who
2023.
that was now.
He said send pick. It's fixed now.
I'm trying to remember who that was now.
Drew Finley. I'll say his name. I don't care.
Okay. What's up, Drew? By the way, I need to message Jamie Tucker. I want to have Jamie Tucker on here. But right now I'm staying far away from that coaching staff. I'm just saying that right now.
The Georgia coaching staff?
The LSU coaching staff.
Oh, why?
That's an off-air
Oh,
conversation.
okay. I mean,
Off-air
I'm also staying far away from them, but for probably completely different reasons than you are.
Joy,
I'm just
Daly's
gonna
going to
tell
get
him
me in
it's-
trouble.
It's gone, but it was edited. Period. I laughed. LOL.
Yeah.
He's gonna be so mad at me. I don't care.
Ah.
Go Tigers.
When's your next trip to Louisiana?
I'll be there on Wednesday.
Awesome. Come and see some friends and family.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
I'll be there Wednesday to Saturday.
Why,
It's fine. I'll be there Wednesday to Saturday.
Not fine.
And it is fine. I'll be there Wednesday
Thank
to
God
Saturday.
he won't watch this. Thank
No,
God.
he
Yeah.
won't. He said we didn't make a graphic. Was prob Georgia Barstool or something.
I remember seeing a picture with him and coaches, but it may have been something else. I don't know.
Okay. Now I'm on it. It's fine. I'll be there Wednesday to Saturday. Probably won't do much in Baton Rouge. Just like going. Honestly need to look at like apartments and places I'm going to potentially live when I move home.
Awesome.
And it's going to be humid as hell. So I plan on being at the pool the whole time I'm there.
What's that apartment
Baton Rouge.
complex next to like the Land Shark, right there
I
on
don't know.
Nicholson?
I'm not looking at apartments. Anyways. And then I'll be gone.
SEC pretty got that country club money, if you know what I mean.
I'll come back to Atlanta. I have a bachelorette party like the weekend after. And then my dad is coming to visit me in Atlanta. And then I'm actually going to go back to Louisiana a week before LSU Clemson because, surprise, week 0, I'm going to the Stephen F. Austin versus McNeese game in Lake Charles, week 0.
Hit me up.
So I'm
I'll
going to
be
go
in
to
Lake
that
Charles.
week 0, and then I'll stay in Louisiana until after LSU Clemson. And then I'll come back to Atlanta because I have a flight out of Atlanta on Thursday for my week 2 game.
Awesome. Hit me up when you're in Lake Charles. I will be in the Lake Charles area.
No way. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll be there. I don't know exactly what day I'm going to drive down. My dad's leaving on Monday. So my thought is I'll probably leave Thursday and split the drive up. So I'll probably leave Thursday, drive to Baton Rouge, spend the night in Baton Rouge, and then go to Lake Charles on Friday. That's kind of my thought process.
Yeah.
And then spend the night Friday, Saturday in Lake Chuck, and then drive back to Baton Rouge Sunday and spend the week in Baton Rouge preparing for week 1 versus Clemson. That's kind of my thought process. But yeah, I'll only be in Baton Rouge twice for this college football season. So,
Texas and Clemson.
okay, I don't normally announce my games.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Texas and Clemson. Obviously week 1 was everyone knew that, but yeah, it doesn't. I feel like a lot of people expect me to come back for LSU A&M, but logistically, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Is
the part
A&M
that-
back home this year?
It is because
Okay.
of the like different scheduling, and I think we play them the week after we play Ole Miss.
Yeah, I wouldn't come back.
Yeah, we play Ole Miss week 3 and A&M week 4. So, because I love your live stream and everyone in it. So like I'm going to Ole Miss. I'm going to Kentucky. I'm going to Auburn, and I'm going to Tennessee. So I'm going to see LSU play a lot this season.
I want to go to Auburn so bad because you
I
got me high on
love
Auburn.
Auburn. I'm telling you, Paul, you should
I don't
come.
even
I
have
know
like
it's an
an
11 a.m.
Auburn
kickoff.
rivalry.
It's not hard. It's not a hard trip either, Paul.
You
Paul,
don't
if-
have
Paul, if you want
toddlers.
tickets, If you want tickets, I got you.
Okay. Well, looks like me and my wife are dropping the kids off with Gammy. All right.
I can handle your tickets if you can get there. I will say this: I wouldn't stay in Auburn. I would stay in Birmingham. So
We'll probably stay in Fairhope if I had to guess.
okay, yeah, either one. It's like it's fine, but a lot of people try to go to Auburn, and it's a small college town, and there's not a lot of places to stay. But Birmingham's not far from Auburn, so I tell everyone like, if you really want to go an Auburn game and you're from Louisiana or Texas or somewhere like that, stay in Birmingham because it's on your way out.
Yeah.
I will go Friday night, stay in a hotel Friday night, and then Saturday I'll go to the game. It's an early game, so I'll go to the game early, and then I'm gonna come back to Atlanta on Saturday night just because I can.
Not bad.
It's 2 hours from my house.
That's
Auburn
not
is.
bad at
So
all.
it's not bad at all. So I'm gonna see a lot of LSU, just not a lot of home games. If y'all remember, I am building a brand built around the entire conference. So
Yes.
we gotta go to some other stadiums. We gotta
Yeah,
visit
get
some other
off of her
places.
back about that. She's an LSU fan through and through, but the woman's trying to build a business here. What do you have any wait, before we get to that. So Vegas is locked in. You're good on Vegas?
Locked in. I talked to Doc about it today.
Ramazan?
No, Aura, the one that I always tailgate with, the big bus.
Got you.
The
Okay.
bingo bus.
I didn't know if you were doing
Our
like
whole-
Mr. Fun's travel.
No. Our whole crew is going to Vegas.
Okay.
So he booked all of our hotel rooms today.
Awesome. We still got a book, but
Get it booked. We're going
We're
to tear Vegas up. And if you see me in Vegas and you don't really know me, but you kind of know me, no, you don't. I'm not there. I'm just having a good old time. And you know what? Vegas owes it to me because y'all know the last time I was in Vegas for LSU, USC 3 years ago.
don't bring that up.
So Vegas owes me a good trip.
You don't want about the last time I was in Vegas. Anyways.
Probably right. You're wearing that hat that says Jesus one. So just-
Well, no. I'll give you a snapshot. I'm walking from Old Vegas. So I was so drunk I forgot. This is back before this was years ago. I was so drunk.
Hey, it's okay.
Yeah, we all have a pass. I was walking from Fremont Street
I'm a
back
present.
to.
What the fuck are we talking about?
I was walking from Fremont Street back to the Strip because I was staying at a hotel near
That's
the
such a far
Stratosphere.
walk.
I forgot I could pay for an Uber with my phone.
Fall.
They give
So
you a
were-
lot more drinks,
you were gone.
on Fremont. And I'm walking in front of a place that is a establishment that, men frequent a lot.
Yep.
They're not very gentlemanly, but they go there. And I'm wearing cowboy boots, jeans, plaid button-up shirt, and a ball cap, LSU ball cap.
Love it.
And this girl is walking across the street in sweats. I didn't think of it at the time. It makes sense now. But she is on her phone screaming and yelling and looking around and screaming and yelling. I just went, ma'am, do you need some help?
I love that you're asking her if she told me why you didn't realize that you could call an Uber for your phone.
I'm walking down the middle of the highway. I don't care. And she's just like, I don't know who the F you are. Leave me the F alone. I was like, yes, ma'am. I just kept walking. Like I was like 30 yards away from her. I wasn't close to her. I was just like,
Yeah.
you need help? Fun trip. It was
Fun
a fun
trip.
trip though.
All right. Well, we're going to have the time of our lives in Vegas. That's my plan.
You and Lamy Sourdough Bakery together in Vegas is going to be fascinating.
And you know what? By the time that we're in Vegas, SEC Pretty is going to be a hell of a company. So
What do you
first
have
round's on
planned
me.
for SEC Pretty coming up here? I know you're bringing these back.
We're bringing
Big
Petty back.
announcement. She's bringing
We're bringing
the
Petty
SEC
back.
Petty back.
We are
Are
going
you
to bring
bringing
Petty
in different
back.
colors?
We are no SEC Petty will always just remain a neutral.
I like it.
But I'm gonna revamp LSU. So we're gonna do the bill as yellow and the letters as purple because I feel like you need to be able to see the letters better.
I like it.
We're gonna bring a camo version. So we're gonna have SEC Pretty. The lid's gonna be camo and the letters are gonna be camo. For the girls that
it.
love their school but don't really want to have their school repping 24/7, I'm gonna do a pink version, which is so against everything I've ever believed in life. But I own a brand called SEC Pretty, so we got to put it in pink. So we're gonna do a pink version. We are gonna do mock necks. We have bag straps on the website right now.
I saw you wearing them in your videos. They look good.
Yep. So we're going to do all of that. And then we're going to continue to really push the social media content. So if you have social media and you don't follow SEC Pretty, the brand, specifically on Instagram, please go follow, like, share, repost. Like that is changing the game
Instagram,
for us.
TikTok, X,
Yeah,
all
you
the
name
above.
it. You name it, we're on there. I'm really great at pissing every other fan base off. So if you just want to be entertained, go watch. I made all Tennessee fans mad today. I've made South Carolina fans mad, Georgia fans mad, Auburn fans mad. I'm really good at triggering people. It's
You love
really,
to put your favorite place in the GPS. No, it's not a playoffs. It's the Tennessee River. I loved that. I loved it. And the Lane Kiffin comment. You can't make a hot dog.
yeah,
or
you're
play
not good at
golf.
making a sandwich or playing golf because you throw all your mustard bottles and golf balls at Lane Kiffin the second he dared to enter your stadium. Yeah, no, but here's the deal. Also, I think the thing that people don't realize is like owning a brand around the SEC also means you have to be aware of your own faults. So there will be plenty of LSU hate on my video. And it's not because I don't love LSU. It's every dig that I give at LSU is probably a dig at myself. So just if, like, we drink too much. Like, for instance, Paul texted me and said, "You want to hop on tonight?" And I said, "Sure." But I'm drinking margaritas at the local margarita joint, and I've had 4 tequila shots.
You're
are
not
you
even
prepared?
buzzing yet.
I mean, I'm doing pretty good for the fact that I have
You're
4
not
tequila
even buzzing yet. Back at me and my wife, we went on vacation. We went to the Grand in Alabama.
Yeah.
And we drank a bottle of wine and had another glass, and I was like, did we get our tolerance back? What happened? Like we get
No, yeah.
somewhere, it's just like we're fine. Because we don't ever drink anymore. It's just you have kids, you can't really do it.
I cannot relate. I drink all the time.
You also don't have children, Daily.
I don't have children and I don't have a husband. So I'm really responsible for me, myself, and I. And my man is sober. So very few alcohol is.
Oh, I can promise you, when we go
I'm
to
not dating
Vegas,
Lane Kiffin. No one.
you're not. No one. It's not dating Lane Kiffin. She's not blonde. But
His girlfriend's not blonde either.
I'm supposed to say that.
I don't care.
Well,
He's got 4 of them. I don't even know which one we're talking about.
do you know
getting
who
fired.
Andrew Huberman is?
No.
You don't know who that is? Okay, never mind. You wouldn't get it then.
Is there a way to see how many people are in here? I probably should have done that before I
63.
started talking.
63. But I see. I don't trust those numbers because it's never the same on concurrent. So you're okay.
If you're in the chat, can you tell me where you're watching from? Just hop in the chat.
Yeah, if you're in
let
the
us know.
chat, say where you're watching from. I want to be. I'm trying my best to be good. Trying my best to be
You've
good.
done a great job so far.
But yeah, like so when we go to Vegas though, like my wife's already said, we're turning up. Like
No,
it's
yeah,
getting.
y'all are gonna know. Y'all are gonna know me.
I'm gonna be with you.
No, I know, but you're not gonna know who I am because you've never seen me like this.
Oh, I remember Tequila Daily Joy tweets on X. That's how we met. Because you
Okay,
post something like, I'm
My
on tequila.
tweets are one thing, but like tequila me in person. Also, I'm gonna be real with y'all. It's not tequila, it's vodka. So like
Yeah, I drink
tequila
vodka,
me is
yeah.
like funny and like doesn't really care, but I don't drink a lot of tequila because I'll go to sleep.
I get
Vodka
mean.
Joy is who you should watch out for. Tito's Joy, that girl's a different breed.
Tito's Paul is fun Paul. Tequila Paul is very mean. That's why I don't drink tequila.
No, Vodka Joy is the casinos don't close in Vegas, but if they did, it would be because I shut them down. My best friends always laugh at me because we go on cruises. Like me and my best friend always go on the same cruise every year. And every year they're like, Joy, we can go out at our hometown and you want to go home first. It's like 1:32. I'm like, let's go home. I need to go to sleep, whatever. We go out on this cruise. I close the casino. It's 5 a.m. They've been asleep for hours. And I'm like stumbling in the room like, hey guys, give me a blackjack table and a glass of Tito's. And I'm done for. I'm gonna be there the rest of the night into the morning.
We're gonna have fun in Vegas then.
It's why I'm scared to move back to Louisiana because I fear LeBeur's just not prepared, and I feel like my wallet's not prepared for LeBeur's.
You need to. I wanted to ask you: have you thought about doing the SEC Pretty podcast?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because I feel like there's some awesome content you can make.
We've considered it. I actually had a meeting about it today.
That's how you know she's big time. She's having meetings. You know what meetings I have? Hey, Paul, what should the thumbnail be?
Shut up. No, I would say that I've thought about it. If I'm being really real with you, and I don't feel like I have a problem saying this to you because you know I support you and I'm Team Paul 100% of the time. It's a very oversaturated market with a lot of people that are just doing it to do it. And everyone does it a very similar way. And I feel like I can say this because you don't do it this way. But like a lot of people use their computer camera. I'm doing it right now. Bad lighting, no microphone. And they're just like shooting with who knows what. Their same 12 friends. And they're calling themselves a podcast. And
oh, you mean the Go Team?
anyways, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that girl. If I'm going to do something, I want to do it right. I want to do it right and I want to do it well. And so, yes, there is a big demand for people that want to see the SEC Pretty podcast. And if I do it, I need y'all to know, like, it's not just going to be a normal talk ball podcast. There's enough podcasts that talk ball.
Like, I would love to see you and, like, Marcy.
Yes. Like, I want to make a place where women, like, just for like Kim Evans texted me last night. K-State Evans' mom, zero issue doing this. Texted me and asked me who I was dating. I said, how do you know I'm dating anyone? She said, my gut instinct because I'm a mom.
Yeah, word. Shout out Miss Kim.
Shout out Miss Kim, the best in the business. And I said, so I told her I was dating. And she said, well, he passes the eye test, but he needs to meet all your baseball moms.
I like it.
Which is hilarious for those of you that think that I'm not actually close with anyone on the baseball team. Like, I just started laughing. And I said, well, if it makes you feel any better, he really loves Kaysen, because he does.
Yeah. Whoever doesn't love Kaysen, just go.
Do you know Kim Evans' immediate response? I don't care if he likes Kaysen or not. That was her immediate text back to me. So I want to talk to, like, the moms. I want to talk to the girlfriends. I want to talk to the people that week in and week out are going to games. And I want to talk about their experiences, because we know what the players are experiencing and we know what the coaches are experiencing, because we have traditional media that does that. I want to tell the stories of the women in sports that aren't talked about, that aren't seen, they go unknown. And the only reason anyone knows who they are is because they followed them on Instagram because they thought they were hot, and then they realized they were dating a baseball player and they had no shot. Yeah. Those are the people I want to talk to. So if we do SEC Pretty, that's what that will look like. I'm probably my thought process is to probably kind of like pregame it in the fall. So very similar, if you've been seeing like the content that I've been putting out recently, kind of similar to that, but more in like an interview style. So if I see a girl at LSU Clemson and I love her outfit, we're making a video about it.
I love it.
That will be much more what it is. And I understand that, like, majority of your following, that's probably not what they want to listen to. And that's fine.
I think you'd be surprised.
But there are, if I'm just being just really straightforward, there are plenty of places for men in this space. There are about 2 for women.
Oh no, but I
And
think you'd be surprised how many people be interested in that. I think
yeah,
you'd be
I
really
need,
surprised.
if nothing else, I need to pick a place where like College Joy would have wanted to listen to them. And even right now, there's not a lot of, I was saying this today, there's not any podcast that like in the fall I'm excited to listen to because they're led by women and they're for women and they're built to like bring women into a sphere that's predominantly male dominated.
Well, like I'll say this,
So I
like
want to do that.
moving goalposts with Billy and Amanda.
Yeah.
Amanda
great,
does an amazing job.
Great.
Amazing job. Like
Love Billy and
that's-
Amanda.
Yeah. Shout out to
But
Moving
also,
Goalposts.
I'm not like, I don't have like the humiliation thing. It doesn't do it for me. It does it for Billy. It doesn't do it for me. Every time Billy sends me a clip and he's like, your girl got after me, I'm like, do you just enjoy this? Like, what's your thing?
I'm gonna be nice because I like Billy's good people. I'm gonna be nice.
I love
I
Billy.
can make so many
Incredible
jokes.
person. Love
It
Billy.
It kind of fits the cult.
He does.
The humiliation fetish.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, well, I think we got it. I think I'm gonna have to figure out how to put a SEC pretty brand up on this podcast here soon to help you out.
I can send you the logo if you need me to.
Do it. We'll do
Happy to.
it. Anything else you want to shout out other than the cool new clothing coming out and the revamped hats?
No, thanks for
Anybody
having
else
me.
you want to say hugs, kisses to?
I can't stand you.
Jelly
No.
Joy is a real G, guys.
Love you, Paul. Thanks for being you. You're really, I feel like if I can take a second,
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all really, you're like, yeah, you're going to really say yeah after
Well,
I say what I have to say. But like, I don't know if y'all fully appreciate Paul for what he is, but as someone that's been in this space a very long time, since college, there are a lot of people that pretend to know what they're talking about, and a lot of people that pretend to have sources, and a lot of people that make up stories, and a lot of people that hype and ride other people's coattails in order to build their brand. And Paul's not one of them. And I don't say this because I think I'm anyone, so please don't hear that being my heart. But like, I'm not quick to jump on a podcast. I'm not quick to jump and say and like give my opinion to someone that I feel like is just random and doesn't actually invest in the university or the school. And y'all know that I've had more than my fair share of people that have hated on me and called me a bandwagoner and all of that. And I don't really care. I think the work that I do and the content that I put out speaks for itself. But I am not quick to align myself with anyone. But I would go to bat for Paul 7 out of 7 days a week.
You already know you got me.
He is the real deal. If you hear something from him, it is legitimate. Paul knows a lot more than I think Paul actually ever shares with y'all.
No.
Simply just because he's a vault. And if Paul's sharing it, it is legitimate and it is 100% from a legitimate source. And he is not using it in any way to gain like notoriety or fame or make this his full-time job. Sure, that's everyone's dream. But like Paul legitimately does this because he loves it. And if you ever have a doubt of who you're listening to or where you're getting your information from, I highly encourage you to get your information from sources that don't use anything for clickbait or BS. They are strictly there to like give you quality information. And that is 100% Paul 100% of the time.
You're gonna make
So
me cry. Stop it.
if I can't say anything else, that I just want to give him his flowers. He is due them. And he's not just a really good at what he does in terms of sports media, but he's also a very good friend. And I would put that over anything else he does. I think that there's something that is to be said for people that walk with integrity and people that are good men and good husbands and good friends before they're good anything else. And Paul's all of those things. So I really wholeheartedly am if you're listening to this, like continue to do so and continue to support him in every way that you can, because he is fully deserving of it. So
I can't say anything to that because you're about to make me cry. Because that's
Okay,
the
don't
nicest
cry.
thing
I love
somebody has
you.
said in a long time. Joy is a real one. Today was a hot mess. I was supposed to have, you probably saw, I was supposed to have Gary Vincent
Yes.
Jr. on. Stuff
Sorry,
came
I'm
up.
not him. I'm not him. My bad.
It's not a step down. I promise. You're amazing. And I was sitting there and I was struggling and I was like, going, shout out to Joy. Hey, if you get bored, hop on because I need a life preserver. She hopped on daily. Your kind words, I cannot thank you enough for them. You are an absolute amazing person. Me and Joy have met one time, and we have been this close since before we met. Because
Literally.
and it came down for the love of Jay Johnson.
We love him. God love
But-
him.
And I'm going to support you in every way I can. And we're going to make SEC pretty. You're going to end up getting like trademark rights. I can see it.
Well, let's not talk about trademarks because that's part of the reason that we're not getting trademark rights. But that's okay. I don't need them.
No, you got yourself, and we got you back too. And tomorrow morning, guys, we may have a special bonus episode with
Love it.
I'll say baseball player. And then tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, 2019 college football champion, Kerry Vincent Jr. The plan is to have him on here so we can get your football talk in. Daily. Y'all go follow Daily Joy at Daily Joy on Instagram and X and TikTok. Go follow at SEC Pretty Brand on TikTok, X, and Instagram. Be on the lookout for the SEC Pretty podcast that is coming. I have a ton of ideas. The mistake you made was telling me you were thinking about it, and now my brain's going, how can we make it awesome? How can we make it awesome?
Love it.
And whenever it comes out, I promise you, I will be telling you guys about it, and we will be sharing all of it. Love you, sweetheart.
Love you, Paul. Thanks for having me. Bye, guys.
Thanks for coming. Y'all have a good night. Peace.